Hello, ladies of the Radiance Revolution. Hello, hello. And today we're going to talk about hydration and actually just trying to get over some sickness because there's so much going around, isn't there? Viruses, blah, everybody's feeling a bit yuck. So come on, girls, what's your special go-to?
I think we have to look at why we're getting more viruses or why we're feeling sick. And, it's change of season. We're going from cold to hot, and that really affects our microbiome. We're bacteria. We're driven by bacteria. We are a universe unto ourselves of bacteria. And it's when that bacteria becomes out of balance, that's the microbiome, that we become more susceptible. And in that cold weather, or the hot weather, the change in temperature really kills off some of our microbiome. So underneath that is our mucous membrane. And that is the second, that's the first line of defense is the microbiome, and then the mucous membrane, and then the linings. And so when that mucous membrane is thickening up with mucus, it means that the microbiome is really struggling. So we're getting that thickened mucus. And that can be driven by any imbalance, bacterial, viral, or fungal. So, yeah, there's lots of ways we can help to deal with that. We were just talking about a way, weren't we, Melly, of clearing out
Yeah,
sinuses and
yeah,
clearing out, or you were sharing a way?
yeah. So I was just saying my daughter's been unwell and lots of her friends have been off school for a week. And so I've if you've got like a nasal rinse or some kind of syringe or something, obviously not with a needle, but the liquid syringes, you can put a bit of salt water bicarb and just get it up each nostril and snort it, and you get it down the back passages, and you're sanitizing the back passages, killing maybe some of that bacteria or virus, and it seems to have sorted her out in 24 hours. So I'm not going to say it's divine. You want a tissue handy, but it is amazing to get some of that down the back of the nasal passage, because so many particles seem to be held down there. And I guess, like you say, Bridget, the microbiome's affecting everything coming up and going down. And if you have a bit of a dual attack, then I'm sure that you can get on top of most things pretty quickly.
Yeah, and then as we were talking about the importance of hydration, and hydration isn't just drinking water, is it? Because actually water often flushes us out. It's a great flush, it flushes things through our system, but sometimes that's not hydrating the cells. Then people reach for things like, your Powerades and your false electrolytes, and you don't really know what's in all of that stuff. So, but there's so much more natural things to do. And like Bridge, you're just you're an advocate for lime, aren't you? You say lime has got really high levels of electrolytes in it.
Yeah, these hydrating drinks, they're full of
Right.
synthetics and sugars and things that aren't serving us. But yeah, I always go for something from nature, like a lime. And lime is full of electrolytes. And the reason that we put lime into water with a bit of salt, I'd actually use sea salt. It hydrates, a salt holds water, and electrolytes bring the electrical balance or the electrical current into the water. And this is all about the fourth phase of water. We've got, what we know is three phases of water: the ice held in, that ice structure, gas, and liquid. But there is a fourth phase where it's held in gel. And that's what it is in our cells. And to have that in a gel-like substance, we need to hold the water there, but have the electrical current in it to hold the polarity, if you like. Otherwise, when we cut ourselves, we'd be like leaking water all over the place and melting like the Wicked Witch of the West. So, we hold that water in our cells through the electrical capacity in our water. And so when we're enhancing it with things like lime juice or bringing in the salts, which is like electrical, or, being able to hold the electrical current in a stable position, because salts are minerals, then we can, utilize it much easier and much better.
And do you know what I love? I love the fact that, you know, that as we talk about, there's so many viruses going around at the minute, and a lot of it is like nasally, coldy, you know, throaty stuff. That there's so many natural things that you can do first and foremost before reaching for your medications that you don't know what's in them, before turning to all that stuff. You know, the first sign of getting any kind of, you know, sniffly stuff, do your rinse, get rid of the bacteria first and foremost. And then when you're not ill, even hydrate with the lime juice. And even if you just do, even if how many glasses a day would, I know when you're hydrating, Bridge, you go between the two and you have like a real hydration program. But if it's just a generalization, if we're just keeping hydrated, how many glasses do you think we should do a day of lime water?
Oh, as many as you want,
Oh,
really.
really?
Yeah.
Can't have
Yeah.
enough?
Oh, I mean, you know, it's all also about getting, you know, fresh juice in, and when limes are in season is when we should be using them. You know,
Mm.
at the moment, I'm using them all over the place. And when I go out for my walk, bless my neighbors, they've got lime trees. They put them in their litter boxes. How beautiful is that? We can share the love. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Maybe one day I'll put a vitamin C there and reciprocation to say thank you. But, you know, sharing these things, because if we've got, you know, enough, then why not share it out? And it is the time of year. And I kind of disagree with killing off bacteria.
Oh.
We're actually fully bacteria. We're driven by bacteria. It's
Yeah.
really about keeping balance.
Mm.
And viruses are not alive. You
Mm.
know, they're part of the virome. They're like the genetic database that allow us to evolve. They have codes, they have sequences, which allow us to adapt with nature. And when nature adapts with the virome, so do we. And
Mm.
that's half of the reason that people aren't adapting is they have to go to bed and do their adaptation there. And that's okay because, you know, we're all human and sometimes, you know, we can get through these things. We're supporting ourselves through nature, but sometimes our bodies are telling us, stop. You know, I need to rest. I need to adapt. I need to get through this. And our bodies know the way. So trusting them, and we can give them, you know, helping hand, but trusting them and giving them the right ingredients is the main focus.
I agree. Yeah, there's some things that you just cannot heal without sleep.
Mm.
And you know, that's when the regeneration happens, and just so much happens when we can power down, you know, the main systems and just let the subconscious take over. But yeah, and with bacteria, yeah, you like you say, we are full of bacteria that is good for us, and we want that good bacteria. And the same, actually, my acupuncturist said recently, you know, the same thing about a parasite cleanse, you know, that everyone's obsessed with at the moment, is that our body actually has parasites that are really helpful for us as well, and we don't want to kill everything. You know, we just want to reduce things that are harming us. And I thought
Yeah,
that was really interesting too, because I hadn't really thought about parasites in that way.
I think it
yeah,
freaks
and
people out when you talk about them because it makes you just feel like you've got like these little things running around causing havoc inside you.
Yeah.
yeah, and I love what you just said, harming us because we're not in harmony.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. And you know what? I don't know about you girls, but my go-to things whenever I'm feeling crappy is either go outside in nature, grab a
Mm.
glass of water. You know, I've got a headache, grab a glass of water. I need to go to the
Mm.
toilet, grab a glass of water. Do you know what I mean? It's like whatever it is, it's like
Mm.
have a glass of water, go out in nature because it makes you feel better, it regenerates, or have a
Yes.
nap. They're the three things that I always tick off first. And if they're not working, then I go, okay, what's my next one down in line?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's so good to know that actually everything's just available to us. And I love the hydration, but I love the lime juice. I do that every day as well. So
Yeah. And I think also the water with salt. You know, in the old days, grandma used to just give you salt water if you were feeling fluey. You'd get a glass of salt water
yeah.
and you'd usually feel better by the end of the day. And actually, you know, if you put half a teaspoon of salt into a glass of water, it you know, you would say, Bridget, whether it has, you know, a good electrical, it helps with the electrical current of the water. And every single animal on the planet knows where to find a salt lick. which I find amazing. Like salt is actually way more important than food. It's the second most important thing to water, and every animal on the planet knows where to find it. And they literally look for salt licks. And we're always being told in the modern world that salt is bad for us. I mean, where did that come from? What's the first thing they do when you go to hospital? They don't give you a water drip, they give you a saline drip.
And I will add to that, actually, not table salt. Table salt is not good for us. So yeah, source out sea salt. Sea salt to me is number one, because there's been lots of toxins and things now placed upon the maunga and the land, so we can't trust our sources of, well, I don't particularly trust the sources of Himalayan salts and things now. So sea salt, I think, is a go-to, and I also add kelp in that. So I do a sea
I have
salt with a
kelp
kelp.
salt. Yeah.
Yeah, very,
What do
very
you
good.
think of like
Another
Celtic
day.
salt and those ones?
Well, Celtic salt is Himalayan rock salt. Celtic salt is where they come from the Celtic mountain, or around that region, if you like. And some of those, it's only because of the toxins that have been placed in those areas,
Yeah. But Celtic
unfortunately.
salt's white and Himalayan is pink.
I know, and it's really the same sort of plains. So many years ago, they had the salt plains, and they started putting taxes on them, and there's many stories about that out there. So yeah, I suggest people go and do their own research around that, and yeah, see what resonates with them. Yeah, I mean, I used to have a lot of Himalayan salt and things, but I really notice the difference now with sea salt and with kelp. Yeah, and I guess it's a lot about tuning into your own body, because, you know, I've been in this industry for over 30 years now, and I've owned a health shop, I've worked in many pharmacies, and I've seen a lot of, and I've created brands, different food brands. And so being able to research and really get down to where your ingredients come from is really important. And knowing the quality behind them, because anybody can put a stamp on and authenticate a stamp. I've seen much of that go round,
Yes.
go on. And, we've got stamps on products now that say that they're dolphin friendly or reef friendly. And really, I don't see the yeah. But anyway, that's a huge subject. And, I think that's where I really, really feel that people need to start looking for quality, ingredients. And I would say organic, lose the chemical load, and look where the ingredients are sourced from. Where your food is coming from is really important. And the closer to home, the better. And so I source sea salt, which has got kelp in it, from around the shores of New Zealand. And I really ensure that, because I know that this is my whenua, and that I connect to that and I can attune myself to that. And water has a lot to do with that, and kelp carries a lot of that water and that vibration. So when we realign ourselves through the waters and through these, and salt is a lot to do with the waters in us, because our plasma is the same consistency as the sea, as the moana. So when we start to realign with that, we start to really be able to bring ourselves back into that balance and get that harmony happening, and then we can attune and know what's serving us and what's not, rather than being distracted by all of everything that's going on, and, the next best thing, and all these things that are out there. Really tune into yourself and what quality you're putting in there, so you can, attune to nature and ascend with her. That's what we're meant to be doing, ascending with nature, and feeling her vibration, because she's so much bigger and so much senior to us. We can really show, she guides our way.
Well, the people that can't afford organic, Bridge, how would you recommend they best clean it? Would you recommend putting into water with sea salt? Would that?
When you can, if you can't source organic, most markets now, people should go to their local markets, buy spray-free. There's a lot of people that are doing, and particularly there were some in Kerikeri. This was before COVID hit. They were collecting seawater and drying it out, and getting the salt. You can do that for yourself. And there's loads of ways to do that, to be able to dry it and collect it yourself. And filter it. And basically, it's really just using cheesecloths and things, those sorts of materials. And I would make sure that you're using a material that is from nature, like a cotton, like a
Muslin.
a muslin, because that we lose the vibrational frequency when we use synthetics. And when I say we lose the vibrational frequency, we lose the life out of it. And we're alive. We
And the
want
microparticles.
yeah.
Do you know what I love? I love nature. Nature is just my thing. But every time I speak to you, Bridge, it just makes me love it all the more. It kind of like makes it just go boom. I just like see it through a whole different light. So thank you for all your wisdom. And this is what this is about, isn't it? We want people to feel radiant. And this is just a massive part of feeling radiant, taking back your power, knowing you can hydrate, knowing you can, tackle some viruses or illnesses with natural things. So, and be empowered, as you say, read the ingredients that's there and see where they're sourced and see if they resonate with you, and put in your intention to when you're doing something, and go forth and be radiant.
Yes. And don't let anything dim your light.
Amen.
Exactly. See you next time, girls.